We're attempting to figure out those technical difficulties I was talking about, and we have returned to the live area. We missed a little bit, but it was more standard than you would really care to admit. Just the two start for one more off the pistol and the eco, and then on the force buy, 15 Kings lost that one against the full guns. So Hyperion 5 now looking to get their second in a row, and this time against the full weaponry.
Yep, full weaponry. And when we say full weaponry, we only mean that for one side. Taking a look at 15K's inventory, you do see the 4 Vandals plus an Operator coming out for a Severe.
Get out of my way!
That is going to be, you hear the Blade Storm actually being called in. And so we are getting the bird's eye view as the match has kicked off for round number 4.
Indeed. And I think that, honestly, we get the opportunity to see kind of a bit of a slower round here from from Hyperion 5 rather, as they just kind of gradually move their way up here towards the B area, but no one really committed today other than that wall that is kind of selling the information.
Yep, selling a little bit of information. However, I wonder if Hyperion 5 have actually tested this side just yet. This is a full stack once again, so this is going to be a little bit interesting as we're going to meet a drone.
Oh, well, not a drone. But a Blade Storm too. That's unfortunate. As Extreme opens up the side. It is the opener that's necessary. And that is a night.
Last player standing.
Again, he's picking that one up into a 3K into Ram. Ooh. Taking that win. So Hyperion 5 kicking off with round number 2. So 2 rounds and then 2 rounds going into their pockets. And that's, I think, a solid way to kick things off. And, these teams evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it really does feel that way. And I think that's somewhat to be expected in that I feel like they're pretty similarly positioned within the scene. So I think it's really cool. And it's an opening matchup. I think it's awesome. We do have some ultimates coming up online here from Hyperion 5, the Orbital. And I mean, some big key ones too. Hunter Siri, run it back, and the Resurrection all available.
Yeah, and that essentially turns it into a 5v7 if they pull it off correctly, which is going to be disgusting. Nope, it's going to be a 4-on-5. Feels bad, man.
That is unfortunate, but in fairness, that's a good aggressive push from the defense and a nice res too. So it's just immediately given back over to the Hyperion 5 side as they get that res.
Yep, gonna get the res and now gonna push in once again. Hyperion 5 showing no fear in these hard pushes, which I really like to see. They're gonna stall out right over there on the left side of A over by the truck and pillar. And Heesh is gonna go ahead and try and lay down some suppressive fire. Ram follows up as well. That brings it to a 3v5. Remember, Run It Back and Hunter Sphere are both available, but Kane on the side is going to try and do some work with the pistol. Sir Q and Benji going to go ahead, follow up, force it into the win as Heesh picks up the final kill.
Nicely done there by Hyperion 5. What a great way for them to kind of respond to what was an aggressive push for 15 Kings. A really solid strategy from them to get that opening pick. Not only do they respond with the res, they keep everyone very healthy, but on top of that, they're able to more slowly and methodically pick their way across onto the A site and then utilize their superior, well, honestly, the superior amount of utility that they had in that round in order to get on.
Yeah, and to me, it's very impressive that even in round 5 and 6, you are still playing that solid, 5-man push squad. Usually at this point, you're just searching for the frags. You're just searching here and there in little points. And to still push as 5 at certain times, I think brings an air of uncertainty to the defense. So I really like what Hyperion 5 are kind of mind gaming at this point. And we're going to see if this works. Going to slide through, and Benji picks one up with the Run It Back. You love or hate to see it, but the Devo goes ahead and throws it right back, picks up a 3, make it 4. 15 Kings is in the running on the back of Devo.
I mean, that's outrageous, is it not? I mean, first of all, like we've just, because of that play from Devo, we've just glossed over Benji's incredible read onto the Viper's pit, but like, holy cow, way to put your team in the running. Enough as the push is in and Benji takes one but falls to Kane. It was Devo who really just turned that round on its head.
Yeah, Devo, whatever you want to call him, he's a menace here in that 6th round. I believe that was amazing to watch, and honestly, funnel kills are something that I think a lot of people don't put a lot of stock in, right? When 4 members are flooding at you, you have to be able to accurately take down every single one and not kind of flinch at every new person that walks in front of you, right? You got to move from one target to the next, and so very methodically done to give himself a little bit of a highlight reel.
Yeah, I mean, very well done, I think. And I mean, we're already seeing the back and forth nature of this game, right? Where it's one area of the map being fought for, and then the next round, another area. This time, it's going to be hookah. We already saw a guiding light go out, and there's 2 players committed here for the defense. That Owl Jones should be able to clear at least one of those.
Try and figure out another route of opportunity. Again, we are getting a little bit of technical difficulties, but Extreme in the meantime goes ahead and says there's nothing wrong with this operator. We're gonna go ahead and snipe down Kane. So Kane is effectively taking out the fight. No ultimate can be utilized at that time either.
Nothing at all, but on the site is Where, who has maybe an opportunity. The push is in, Where getting to Kane, but that's not enough. Nice kill on the spike planter, but traded immediately by Benji. And Severe gets involved as well. So 2v3, running back still available for the attackers. Hyperion 5 still in control.
5 very much in control. That's going to be the wall kind of sniped out, and this is kind of the slow pace that they kind of need, but Hyperion 5 are fighting to this retake attempt. This is a 3-on-2. Again, they have the man advantage. 15 Kings though sitting on the Raze and the Astra. With a couple open, you got to kind of find your marks here, and 15 Kings need to make their way in now. Time is ticking on that spike. They got to make a play somehow.
Yeah, I mean, they've waited so long. Now they are looking to get an information, but they don't know about the player in the corner. That's immediately going to shut that down, and the crossfire far too strong. Benji and Heish both getting involved, and a 4th round on the board here for Hyperion. They've done a great job of that kind of slow style and then executing quickly.
Yeah, and so far they've had a fairly decent read, right? That one having 3, not chasing, I think was the big thing, right? Chasing is something that I really dislike. You know, you don't push 2 members, of course, and being able to just catch them in the crossfire, it's so well done to that extent that Hyperion, I'm feeling are starting to get a read. Maybe this is their map, but now they have to face off against the Astra ultimate, now also against the Defender lockdown and the blind coming out of the sky, or the chase down. So a lot of utility in 15 Kings to make sure that they rebuff this A attempt.
I mean, you talk about the lockdown, though. I think the lockdown is incredibly difficult to use on this map, and that's usually why I'm not a huge fan of the Killjoy on bind. I think it's been okay thus far, but we'll have to see if they are able to get much use out of that, as it is a nice opening frag there. That lockdown no longer available for 15 Kings. Hyperion, they found an opening pick, and look how they're just rotating out immediately, Orbital. They find that pick at A, and they're like, all right, B it is.
Yeah, and finding a lurker, no less. Lurking is always, you want to take that one person out. So to take out the defending lurker is going to immediately call it out. But the teleport is going to be the big read, it looks like. And they still have 3 members. So another rotate, the rotate on the rotate is going to mean 15 Kings are scrambling to try and get position on A.
15 Kings have just been in the back seat trying to respond for so long this round. Granted, an eco, yes, but doesn't seem to be enough. An Extreme taking down the Devo is certainly a great way to put the nail in the coffin. Sora comes around the back and does have a judge, so maybe the potential to find 1, 2 at best, but well, see you later. Extreme says no thank you.
Extreme skeet shooting is kind of what the feeling is, but Severe has something else to say. Double phantom kills. Go ahead, turn it into a 1v2. Might get a 4K, or has to get a 4K if wanting to tie up the rounds here. He's gonna try and sneak ball to the wall, but Ram spots it out. I think the gun kind of poked through the wall, and that is unfortunately gonna be the round. Over to Hyperion as they move to 6-3.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, actually. I think that that Cosmic Divide is really tough to utilize, and using it in what was then a 1v2 with a gun in hand isn't the worst decision. And I think that's an interesting play not everyone would have made, but I actually like it a lot. I think that it shows the confidence there for the 15 Kings side of things, and particularly that Astra player. So they don't come out victorious, but it was a good idea.
Yeah, and that's what you need in this is ideas, right? Again, the constant shift of momentum, the constant shift of you know, the strategies is how you keep your opponent off balance. And already we see the B jumping around, and that's Devo going ahead and picking up that firing kill. Where is going to join that frag team, and those are two big time ultimates. The run it back plus the blade storm are no longer in effect, and that is a lot of Hyperion 5's combat ability taken out.
Yeah, and that very well placed Viper Pit there, just to, or rather Snake Bite, my apology, to force out players from that area. The Seekers come through from Kane in order to try and deny even more, as we see the push falling back now for Hyperion. The utility dump right there from 15 Kings was outrageous. So many players just throwing out so much utility, and all but the lockdown really being invested.
Yeah, and I really like to see that, especially since Hyperion didn't get a single person tagged. Right, 15 Kings are all fresh, they're all healthy, which means you utilize that the revive for nothing, and Sir Q goes ahead, picks one off. Extreme goes down in that situation, so now into a 4v4. Big question mark. Severe once again is going to find a head. That means 15 Kings are going to go ahead, set up here. That is going to be the Viper Pit thrown down. And the defender lockdown. This is what I love to see. It covers the entirety of the map. That's going to force a little bit of movement by Hyperion 5, and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There they go. That is going to be Hyperion 5 taken. Another, actually taken out of that round of 15 Kings. Go ahead, get the defuse.
So I want to have a quick discussion here, Orbital, about the lockdown, right? I mentioned that the Killjoy is typically not ideal on Bind because the lockdown plays are a lot harder to make. It doesn't really neatly cut off A or B very well, but I think that the argument to be made is that the Viper's Pit is just immediately denied if you're able to utilize that lockdown, right? Like, that is actually the biggest part that is different with the new investment of the Viper and everything, right? I think that's very interesting that adjustment has come through, and now the lockdown is a bit more effective on this map.
Well, it's not just that, it's also a flushing tool, right? You can flush out your opponent into certain areas, and depending on where you're able to position him, you can actually flush him into one of the corridors, is kind of the way I see it. And this is why I love this ultimate so much on the defender side, right? The defender lockdown will always cover an entire site, at least the plantable site. Right, and especially on something like Bind, as long as you have A covered, you can flush them into one of 4 corridors, and that allows